what better time to practice some autonomy than spring break? Very exciting. This week 11 of the Artist's Way. And to say that a lot has changed and yet I have stayed the same would be an understatement. Now heading into like the end of the Artist's Way, I've been thinking a lot about how this like return to form, return to nature feels very similar to like other experiences that I've had in the past where where I kind of have lost like my self-confidence or self-direction. And although I'm still trying to figure out again what my definition of self is, I have a clear idea of what I want moving forward and the types of things that I want to do. This week of practicing like autonomy, I feel like I'm not going to say that having like support as I was exploring autonomy is a cheat code, but I think like being at home with my family, being back in like my childhood bedroom, my hometown, and like spending time with friends, I think it allowed me a more structured method of figuring out like how do I want to spend my days, like what do I want to make sure that I do, how do I self-soothe, how do I listen to my body and what it needs. And so like, you know, this week was a lot of like meetings, a lot of trying to figure stuff out. I had a lot of conversations with people about like things moving forward, like projects that have been happening and even like career moves that I might not necessarily be making like right now, but I like do genuinely have to think about like rotations and residency and whatnot. And there was like a part of me that felt some sense of overwhelm of like, okay, all of a sudden everything just feels like it's hitting me all at once. But at the same time, I feel like the stuff that I've been doing over the past 11 weeks has prepared me to be a little bit more confident in taking stuff on. And I feel like more importantly, willing to reach out and ask for help and not be so ashamed of exploring the process. Like, I think the theme of shame has been a really big thing over the course of like this course. I dyed my hair. That's pretty apparent from other videos that I was doing with this series. But even while I was doing like my hair, I was thinking about the last time that I had colored hair and the amount of shame that I had of like, oh, like people will look at me, like people are going to judge me. But like doing this myself and like seeing the active process of like me visually changing, but then like having to make adjustments as I go along. I think this is like the culmination of me getting my sparkle back, is how I've been dubbing it. But no, yeah, I think like this will definitely, like my hair will definitely be like the big thing that will signal to people like, oh, like something's changed. But I think internally, like my energy has shifted as well. Like throughout this week, being back at home at my parents', I would like go on walks a lot more. I saw a snake. That was interesting because I had never seen a snake near my suburban anywhere before, so that was very interesting. I got food with friends. I got to like walk around and explore different areas that I hadn't like growing up. I went to a zine festival at Reed College, which was very cool. And it was just very like, it like soothed me to be in environments where it's like I don't have to pretend to be anything, or I don't have to like put on a certain like a certain mask or persona in order to just exist here. And I feel like that's that in combination with like the shame topic that I was talking about before. I think that's something that needed to be processed through and unlocked in order for me to like actually be able to like take on these new responsibilities and these new projects and all this stuff that I've been working on. And yeah, it's been a nice feeling. And it's been a nice feeling to like be on my own schedule, trust myself to make my own schedule. Like I said, got a lot of meetings done. But I also finally made time to work on my mend pile. So there's a lot of clothes that have just been like sitting there that now like I genuinely feel happy when I look at them. I'm excited to like dress up again. I feel more me, and I hope that, you know, as I get back into classes, that I'm able to continue to feel more and more like me each day. I did have the thought, like, driving back to my apartment from my parents, because it was, like, sunny, and, like, even though there was, like, rainy days, like, it was all still very, like, fresh. Like, it felt rejuvenating, and then coming back to my apartment and coming back and knowing that, like, school is literally tomorrow, like around the corner. There was like a part of me inside where it's like, well, nothing has changed. But I think maybe that's some of the beauty in it. Like, nothing has changed, but I think my mindset about it and like my willingness and openness has shown me that there's a lot more available for me than I previously thought. And I can like feel it in myself and like the stuff that I have been making, and like I'm writing a lot more like fluidly. I'm less worried about like, oh, this has to be a certain way, and instead I'm just like, I'm going to let whatever needs to come out. And I haven't felt like that in a while. So I'm really hopeful that things will continue to be the way that they're progressing, I guess. Moving into the last week of The Artist's Way, the last theme is recovering a sense of faith. And I think slowly that's been developing. It's definitely something to work on because, like I said, even today, I keep getting in these loops of like, well, like, you know, you are saying all this stuff, but like, has it really become better? And I have to continue to have faith that whatever needs to happen will happen. I'm just going to keep on putting in the work, putting in the effort, and the quality will show through. And yes, thank you for coming to my Artist's Way little update. Almost done. We'll see what happens.